Sim family. My name is Notando, and I'm going to be sharing with you on my journey with fertility. Before I start, I'm just going to share with you the different definitions between fertility, infertility, and subfertility. And this is from Dr. Google. Subfertility is a delay in conceiving. Infertility. Oh gosh. There we go. Infertility is the inability to conceive naturally after 1 year of trying. In subfertility, the possibility of conceiving naturally exists but takes longer than average. I don't know what that average is. In infertility, the likelihood of conceiving without medical intervention is unlikely. So, I fell in the category of subfertility. I got married at 24, which I'm told is a good age to get married. One is super fertile, and all the eggs and all of that is, you're a good candidate for conception and just being pregnant. So I had the wedding of my dreams to the man of my dreams. Then, story for another day. And we started our life, and it was beautiful. It was just everything was playing out like a fairy tale. About 5 months into our marriage, I got pregnant, yay, and without struggle, and we moved to our beautiful home. So the fairy tale was just, carrying on, and life was great, life was good. And then 3 months into the pregnancy, I had a miscarriage. I spent 8 days in hospital. That experience counts as the worst experience of my entire life ever since I was born. I subsequently had 2 more miscarriages post this first one, but the first one, it hit me the hardest. I couldn't understand what was going on. I had never been to a gynecologist, believe it or not. And here I am in hospital, and I have this man telling me to open my legs, and I'm thinking, why? What for? And this nurse is telling me, relax, honey, you're gonna be okay. I'm thinking, those big hands, like, what? It was just such a traumatic experience for me, At 24, I'd never gone to a gynae site. The first experience. Oh, I didn't put my phone on silent. Sorry. Oh yeah, there we go. So, my first experience with a gynae is after I've lost. I think I'm supposed to go on flight mode. Pardon me. There we go. Is when I am losing my baby. And so it was just a mess. It was a nightmare. And needless to say, I kind of lost it. And I remember the therapist coming into the ward and just trying to talk to me and just, try to get in my head, because I flipped. I lost it. Doctors couldn't tell me what had happened, what had caused the miscarriage, why I had miscarried. I mean, I am a reader, and so I knew I was a very healthy candidate for carrying this pregnancy to full term. We didn't struggle to fall pregnant. I ate well. A lot of stuff just didn't make sense. And so I flipped because I wasn't getting answers, and I wasn't hearing what I wanted to hear. I wasn't, getting a distinct reason. Like, I wanted them to say, oh, you fell down the stairs and so that's why you've miscarried, or oh no, you've not been eating right and so that's why you, like, I needed something definite for them to point out and say it's because of this. And I'm a Christian, and at that time I was like, whoa, me and God, we're like this, you know? And I just couldn't understand. The Sunday before, I had led worship at the church that I used to go to, and it was just a beautiful service. And I'm thinking, like, where is God in all of this? Like, God, I'm a worship leader. I did things the right way. I didn't get pregnant in some bush. I got married, that moral high ground. And I'm like, I'm a youth leader. I'm a worship leader. Like, I do stuff in your house. Like, I am a kingdom builder. Where are you? What's this? So I lost it. And oh Lord, it was not a good time for me. And afterwards, I went for DNC, and they cleaned me out and told me to come back after 3 months just for a checkup. But I was never the same person from that. Like, the girl that I was then died with that baby, because I became something that to this very day I still cannot recognize. And one of the things that made it difficult for me in hindsight, I think, to also just deal better with the miscarriage, was the fact that I had people who meant well, the body of Christ, Christians, would say, oh, don't cry. When you cry, it's a sign of not having faith in God. You're making the devil happy. You giving glory to the wrong camp. So you gotta celebrate and be happy and be grateful that at least that you're able to conceive. And don't worry, you're young. You're gonna get another one. Oh, I'm gonna get another one. I don't want another one. I want that one. I mean, it came from a good place, and they meant well, but that was not what I needed. And I think also because there's no funeral, there's no burial, I didn't get any closure, and yet somehow I'm expected, like, it's a loss. I've experienced a loss, and I just was not given, and I didn't give myself time to mourn, time to emotionally process what had happened to me. And I think that was where I lost it. That's where the plot got lost. I got pregnant again. I think 8-9 months later, I got pregnant again. Same thing happened. At 3 months, lost it. And I think what made it worse with the second time was that my husband was out of the country at that time. He left me pregnant, and he left me with people that were taking care of me, and just make sure that I was okay and all of that. And he is lending to come home to me in hospital. I miscarried. And how I interpreted that was, I lost our baby again. I lost our baby. It just made it, I had already, gone into depression, but at that time I didn't know that I was depressed. I was depressed but functional. Got out of hospital. The church that I belong to then, it's very radical, in proclamation of faith and all of that. So you get up, God is able to do everything. He will heal you. He's able to do exceedingly abundant, like scriptures galore, Okay, great. This time around, I didn't even bother with counseling. No to therapy. I was like, right, lost this baby. Okay, let's move on. Got pregnant again for the third time. I lost the pregnancy at 3 months again. And I'm not getting any, there's no distinct thing to say, okay, listen, you're working too hard, or you nothing. And I think that was one of the things that frustrated me so much, because I was like, okay, how do I prevent this from happening? And I'm such a control freak, I'm very organized, and I plan very well, and this was not going according to plan. you know um okay, fine. I'm just like, I'm done. At that point, I was even pushing my husband then to just listen. I think we can adopt. And if you don't want to adopt, I'm happy for us to just go our separate ways, and you can find a woman that can bear children for you, because I'm not going to hold you down. I did say that to my husband. Of course, he said, don't be silly. Yeah, so after that, I thought, okay, I'm gone, done the worst and whatever. I then started just experiencing irregular periods. My cycle, you know,